Welcome everybody to the Bush and Me Show. I am your host, Jamon Bushrod, aka Bush. And to my left is my co-host, Mr.
Ryan Meehan, aka me.
Yeah.
We're here at Towson University, our alma mater, Jamon.
Where we started, where our friendship started.
It's where it all started, yeah. Definitely. For those of you that don't know, some fun facts about Towson. It is located in Towson, Maryland, which is less than 10 miles outside of downtown Baltimore. The mascot is the Tiger, T-U. Enrollment currently is 23,000. It was about 18 when we were here.
Yeah, 18, 19, yeah. So the university's constantly growing.
Things are getting bigger. There's some new buildings up on campus.
Yeah.
There's more than 200 clubs and organizations here for the students to join. Over 30 fraternities and sororities.
Wow. Sounds like a good time.
I didn't realize that we were here.
No, me either.
For those of you guys looking for a college out there, it is 59% female to male ratio.
If that's what you're into,
That's what you're
looking for.
Not bad. I Googled this, by the way. Notable alums.
Yeah.
There were top 5. We have 2 of them here today.
Hello.
And I'm not one of them.
No, you're not.
Amy Schumer, Stacy Keibler of the WWE, Mike Rowe of Discovery Channel's Dirty Jobs, Gary Neal, who's going to grace his presence with us shortly,
Yes.
and our very own Mr. Jamon Bushrod, Super Bowl champion. On the athletic field, the Tigers compete in Division I in the Colonial Athletic Association, known as the CAA. You may have heard of Towson for being a perennial powerhouse in lacrosse, big in Maryland here, and also 18-time national champion Towson dance team.
That's impressive.
Impressive. I believe it was 13 or 14 in a row as well.
Yes.
And last but not least, Towson does have a football team here.
Pretty good one, too.
A very good one.
We're going to get that W today versus the Delaware Blue Hens.
We came here for the rivalry game, Delaware.
Yes.
I think a lot of you guys outside of Maryland found out about Towson, maybe that they had a football team. 2013, there was a little national championship run.
Yeah. We came up a little short, but you know what? That solidified Towson and put us on the map for sure, definitely when it comes to football.
Yes, sir. We went down to Frisco, Texas, made a nice run through the playoffs, beat Garoppolo, beat Eastern Washington, went to the national championship game in Frisco, and ran a little short against North Dakota State.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz was on that team, but he was a backup.
Yes.
We went down and attended the game.
Yeah.
My biggest memory was you spending $150 at Chick-fil-A on breakfast.
The crew got to eat. We had a good time down there. Make sure we got to keep our guys
through the drive-through. I think we backed everything up that day.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Some notable alums that played here at Towson that you guys may know, but for those of you who don't, we'll throw them out there for you. Sean Landetta attended Towson.
Yeah.
Arguably the best punter in the NFL. Some Hall of Fame talk about him going in there. Great guy, is in the Hall of Fame, so he might be the trailblazer for some more punters to get in there.
That's pretty cool.
Dave Meggett, Super Bowl winner, went to Morgan State, transferred into Towson, played with the New York Giants, won a Super Bowl with them. Tony Vincent.
Yeah, big tight end.
Still comes back around, visits Towson, played with the Ravens and the Falcons for a little while.
Yep.
Jason Corral, who held most of Towson's records before Terrence West was here. I think
a guy named Terrence West came through and just took all the records. We'll talk about him in a couple of weeks.
I think Jason still holds some of them.
Yes, he does.
Mr. Jamon Bushrod, sitting to my right, 12 years in the league, 2 Pro Bowls, Super Bowl champ. Terrence West, as you mentioned, who in that 2013 season had 2,509 rushing yards, 41 touchdowns.
16 games.
41 touchdowns.
41 touchdowns in 1 year.
1 year.
Regular season and playoffs. That's amazing. Shout out to T. West.
We did a dry run of this, and Jamon did not believe this.
No, I did not.
It's one of those things that while the season's going on, you just sit back and watch in awe, but you don't realize the history of it until you sit back years later and you're like, wow.
And now you understand why he left Towson as a junior to pursue his NFL career, because I don't know if it gets much better than that in a single year.
Correct.
Yeah.
Barry Sanders-like numbers.
Yes.
Jordan Dangerfield is current safety with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes.
And Ty Smith, who is also in the NFL right now with the Titans.
Yeah. So these young guys, I mean, look, I had an opportunity to get drafted here, but these were the guys who came after me, and You know, they've been making some noise in the NFL. They have good careers so far, so we're definitely going to continue to follow Jordan and Ty as they prolong their NFL career.
Definitely.
So that's a little bit about our university here. We came in together from 2002. We played until 2006. We do a segment here called Best and Worst on every single Bush and Me show.
Best and worst.
So it's only fitting that we are here at our alma mater at Towson. So I want to ask you, what are your best and worst? You never really get this opportunity.
I don't get to do best and worst.
No, you don't.
This is probably my first and last.
Yeah. You know, this is it. This is it for
I'm
him.
gonna soak this one up.
Yeah, you should.
What do you want to start with?
We're gonna start with worst. We're gonna get the worst memories out the way. I want you to start it, and then I'll follow up with my worst memory.
All right. Worst memory.
Speak up too, so all the people can hear you.
We're gonna go back to 2004. See Coach Bader over there. He probably remembers this too.
It was our first year in the Atlantic 10.
It was.
So we were struggling a little bit.
We're getting ready to play New Hampshire, who's ranked in the top 10.
Yes.
Chip Kelly was the offensive coordinator. They had a receiver by the name of David Ball who broke all of Jerry Rice's D1AA records. We flew out of here, it was about 60 degrees, and we flew into snow, it was 30 degrees. It was one of those games that you thought would be fun to play in until kickoff.
We played and we
So you got the first kickoff.
We were outmatched.
You got the first kickoff, and I counted my guy, and he came down, and I made contact.
What'd you do to him, baby?
And
smashed
put him on his
him.
back. I was on top of him.
You just say you smashed him.
He was on his back. I look over, and I see that we had fumbled the opening kickoff, and we turned it over. And the guy below me is screaming. Ah!
You poked the bear, big dog.
I'm going, what's wrong with this guy? So go back to the huddle. They marched down and scored. We got kickoff return again, which I think it was 49-7 at halftime.
So we definitely had a lot of kickoff
return
opportunities.
And I was not very successful the rest of the day. Just say the back of my jersey was muddy and the front was clean. But I didn't realize that it was that bad. He didn't make any tackles. Like, I was taking him out of the play. Sometimes you got to be the nail.
For sure.
But we got into meetings on Sunday night.
And how'd that go for you?
For those of you guys that played, you know that you have team meetings that turn into special team meetings. And first kickoff, nobody said anything about my block. They talked about the fumble. And then after that, it was like all they were talking about was how bad kickoff return was for Ryan Mead.
And he definitely heard about it. He hears about it to this day. Anytime he wants to get on us about anything, we definitely bring New Hampshire back up to
15 years later, I'll run into people I haven't seen in a while, and I'll make fun of something they're wearing. They're like, "Oh, you want to bring up New Hampshire?" I'm like,
What about New Hampshire? Remember
I'll never forget those meetings because Gordy Combs,
what did Gordy say?
Who's around here somewhere, was, "If you want to play like this, you're never going to see the field." Oh my God! So I knew from there on out that was going to be my worst memory. I didn't know I was going to be here telling you about it one day.
Well, hey, it's funny how the world works. You know, we get it out there, you get your worst memories out there, but look, let me get mine out there.
Well, we got through mine. Me and my therapist decided we're going to let that one go. And move past.
You know, got to move on. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
What was yours, Jamal?
Okay, back in 2002, it was obviously our freshman year. It was our freshman year here at Towson, and we were playing Morgan State to open up our season on September 5th. We were actually going to play them Thursday night, and the thing that was pretty significant about that game, we had the opportunity to open up our newly renovated stadium, which is now called Johnny Unitas Stadium. And you know, we had practice under the lights. It was either that Monday or that Tuesday before we played that game.
Right.
And back then we had AstroTurf. And that's not the turf you see on these fields that everybody's playing on now. It's the fake grass with the rubber tire pellets that's all up in it.
Looks like Easter egg.
Yeah.
Grass now.
So you know it's
like
softer. No, I played on. It looked like this asphalt with some carpet on top of it. That's what it felt like.
Thin carpet.
Yeah, real thin carpet. And this thing called the Turf Monster got me. And the field was pretty dry. The Turf Monster got me.
Reached up and grabbed me.
He reached up and grabbed me. I tripped. I tried to catch myself with my left foot, and I ended up breaking my foot.
It was. You could hear the pop too. It was like.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was pretty brutal, you know. So that has to be my worst memory because after that, I was on crutches for 2 months. I had to crutch my way to class.
and there were a few girls always behind you carrying your books and your lunch and I remember that.
I plead the fifth. I plead
But some people could say that could have been a good memory for you because you came in a little undersized.
I was 280.
And you, breaking the leg kind of let you add weight. I think after that you were about 400 pounds. Maybe?
Relax, relax. I was probably a bad built 325, 330. But
okay, but it helped you put on weight. You already had the quick feet and now you had the weight that you needed.
That's why I got this upper body. My legs didn't really catch up, but my upper body is nice and stout for sure. So I'm definitely going to say that was my worst memory on the field here at Towson.
Two of our worst memories that I'm glad we got out of the way.
Yes, I don't want to really talk about it anymore.
Mine will probably come up later today when I run into some old friends that I see.
It is what it is though. But why don't we get into our best? Yeah, let's change it up a little bit. Me, why don't you go ahead and tell me your best memory from being a Towson Tiger?
Best memory at Towson on the field has to be when we played Hofstra our senior year. We went up there, we were 3-0, they were 3-0. Went to Long Island, and we're down 31-17 going into the fourth quarter.
Right.
And Sean Schaefer brought us back.
My guy Schaefer.
Moved us up and down the field. And next thing you knew, there was about 2 minutes left, we were down 7. We score with under 30 seconds to go. Eric Yancey.
Oh yeah.
He hit Yancey in the end zone. And we go for 2. And we ran jumbo package like we were gonna run the ball. And coach called a naked bootleg, play action, roll out.
Did you know you were getting the ball?
There was 3 tight ends in the game at that time. We had Ryan Collins, shout out Ryan Collins, and Reno West and myself. Ryan Collins looked at me. He hadn't been playing in a while because he was sick. What do I do on this play? I said, you block down for 2 seconds and run out in the flat. Reno looks at me, what do I do on this play? I said, jeez, you stay in and block.
He was a jumbo tight end, correct?
Right, love you, Reno. And on the play action, I knew I had to pretend like I was going to the backer and do a little dig to the back of the end zone. Ran down. As soon as I ran, I looked up. Ball was already in the air, and it felt like forever to come down. But it came down, caught it, 2 steps, flipped the ball to the referee, and just ran with my finger up into the stands at Hofstra.
Towson W.
Game over. 4-0 our senior year, going into a bye.
Hello.
On the field, without a doubt, personally, my best memory. But off the field, it's the locker room. It's got to be the locker room. It's the guys. It's the bond that you build every day.
It's the bond we have right now.
It's the bond that started this whole friendship.
Exactly. That's why we're here today.
But you don't realize it when you're going through it. You're going to meetings together, you're going to lunch together, you're going to breakfast together, and then you go to practice, and then you're like, what are you guys doing for dinner? Well, shoot, we're going to make chicken and rice, let's go here, let's stay on campus. And you're spending a good 10 to 12 hours a day together, almost every day.
That's the thing about football, like, you know, the best teams who are actually, you know, what do most breakdowns say, you know, when you're breaking it down, you know, 1, 2, 3, family.
Right.
You know, we were a family, we were a close-knit group. You know, we didn't make the playoffs, or we didn't have any national championships, but we had a lifelong bond.
But it's that brotherhood, and I don't know if I appreciated it then. I mean, we definitely used the time wisely and always hung out. We built that brotherhood. But then you get into the real world and you think things are gonna be the same, and you're there 9 to 5, and you go home, you're with your families, or you do your own thing. It's never gonna be replicated. And so for those of you guys out there that are currently playing sports, that are following us at Bush and Me Show on social media, enjoy the time while you have it and use it wisely. Build those friendships, long lasting, because they'll be there forever. But those times, I mean, those are probably the best 5 years of my life.
For sure.
So let's go to you, Jermon. Can you top that?
I might be able to. Because Towson is playing Delaware, my best memory from being here, from being on the field, I'm going to go 2006, Towson Tigers. We head up to Delaware Stadium to take on the Delaware Blue Hens.
Oh, that's who we're playing today.
Yes, we are, and we're going to get that W today. But here's a little interesting fact. Joe Flacco was the quarterback of the Delaware Blue Hens.
Did we ever lose to him?
No, we did not. We're 2-0 against
2-0,
yes,
Joe. Sorry, Joe.
What was unique about that game, it was an offensive slugfest. Our quarterback, who was mentioned earlier, Sean Schaefer, he was behind, you know, he was under center. He went 27 for 37 for 435 yards, 5 touchdowns. Joe Flacco went 32 of 51, 341 yards, 4 touchdowns, but unfortunately, he had 2 picks, and one of them was to my good friend, Carlos Allen, the defensive lineman.
Los.
Yeah, my
Claim to
dog.
fame.
Yes, indeed. So, yeah, it was over 1,000 yards of offense in that game. We won 49-35. We played in a stadium with pretty much 17,000 people, and that was pretty much like our Super Bowl, going to go play Delaware, you know, because
rivalry game.
Yeah, it was rivalry. It was
biggest
always
attendance
packed.
we've ever played in front of. Because here, what, it's 11,500.
Yeah, we might have had
about that.
We might have had half.
We might have had half of that for the first half, and then at halftime, just our parents and our friends.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
But great job for everybody here at Towson to build that up. I think they feel it more.
Well, you know, when you win games, that's when people start to come.
Correct.
And I think you know, from the higher ups down to the players, they brought in some players who could find a way to go out here and get these W's and just gain some traction for the school. We were able to go to a national championship. Attendance picked up. Football school spirit picked up. So you got to be very encouraged by that. You got to be very encouraged by that. So we're going to take a little break, but first it's Delaware here at Towson.
Correct. And your memory was beating a Flacco.
Yeah, and we have our own Flacco, Tom Flacco. Joe Flacco's
younger brother.
Tom Flacco. He's doing his thing out here under center for us. So he's going to put a hurting on them Blue Hens today. I'm sorry.
Don't worry, Joe. Your younger brother's going to do something you could not do, which is win a Towson-Delaware rivalry game. That was a burn, Joe. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this one up. We'll be back after this.
Bush and me here, we have a very special guest by the name of Anthony Waters. I played with this man right here in Chicago with the Bears, and now we're connected again, this time in Towson, in Baltimore. He has a very special company that him and his partners have just released, or just opened up, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so we have a store in Locust Point. It's called Clean Juice. It's a 100% organic juice bar. So if you come in, you know, you can grab a menu. I've only brought a couple of things here today, but we sell juices, salads, who we actually partner with Tessemaze. My wife went to Towson, I went to Delaware. Don't know how it happened, but Tessemaze, they supply us with our salads. They're all organic too, and they do a great job for us. And then we do acai bowls, we do toast, so hotter things as well. But I brought the guys some stuff to sample, and some of them are just juices and no smoothies. But Bushrad's holding here a juice. One of the great things I'll say about us is we're very transparent. So if we take a look at the juice, it's all made in-house. Like, that's probably my handwriting. But on the back, you'll see what it helps for. So cold and flu, and then on the side, you'll see ingredients. Everything we use is all organic. So organic oranges, pineapples, carrots, lemons, all of that stuff, and turmeric is organic, and then we bottle it in our place too, which is kind of crazy. Very labor intensive. You think it was a dry cleaner, but but it works for us, and we have a pretty good following now, and people like it. So if you are in the area, or if you're at Rev Cycle, Charm City Run, Harris Teeter, feel free to stop by. If you download the app, you'll get $5 off. So you can do that too.
And where can people find you at? Social media, website?
So Locust Point, Clean Juice Locust Point is where you can find us. Clean Juice is the website, so we do have a website, and the app is going to be called Clean Juice as well. So we're very easy to find.
There you
Social
go.
media as well?
Yep, social media, our Instagram, we're constantly putting out content. If you tag us, we will repost you, so we're all having fun, and it works out.
That's awesome. Thank you for stopping by.
Tessemaze is also a friend of the Bush and Me shows we had on a previous episode, so there's a connection there.
Yes.
Clean Juice just opened up in February. Go check it out.
Welcome back to the Bush and Me show. We have a very special guest here today, another 07 graduate with us. But this guy decided he wanted to go professional in something else. He went to the NBA. He had a few stints overseas. Man, good friend now. He's actually come back to be an assistant basketball coach here at Towson University. And that man is Gary Neal. Gary, thank you for coming on the Bush and Me show.
Oh man, thanks for having me, man. This is like, this is amazing, man. Me and Bush and me, man, we went to school together. This is like, it's like full circle for me. So this is amazing, man. I appreciate you having me on the show.
Definitely, man. Welcome aboard. So you're a local guy. For those of you guys that don't know him, started at Aberdeen, went to Calvert Hall for a year, MIAA. Then went to LaSalle, transferred into Towson. Your junior year, you averaged 26.1 points a game. Senior year, 25.3. We're gonna pump you up a little bit, so put your humble hat on. We always remember was a junior year, always we turn on ESPN and you're watching, you know, Duke and Maryland and North Carolina and Gonzaga, and you see top leading scorers in the nation, and you always see Reddick, Morrison, and Neal's right there. Always.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Help put Towson on the map, not just in basketball, but for everything. I don't know if you know this, but you scored 1,254 points in 2 seasons at Towson.
Damn. Some people don't even do that in phone.
If you add LaSalle, if you add LaSalle in there, you got 2,295, so just under 2,300 points.
Wow.
Michael Jordan had 1,788. Your senior year, you had 810 points in 1 season. Michael Jordan's best season was his junior year, 721. So just shooting the numbers out there.
Well, I actually played for MJ. I actually played for MJ with the Hornets.
There you go.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
How was that?
That was great. That was amazing. That was amazing. He put a lot of pressure on you, but you know when you're working for the greatest and you're playing for the greatest, it can't get any better than that. But yeah. I mean, I wouldn't compare myself. I appreciate the compliment, me.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. But I wouldn't compare my 810 to MJ's, 700.
He is a stat man. He just pulls stats and he's gonna let you have them.
Hashtag stat man.
Yeah, hashtag stat,
We're just trying to let the people out there know
I
who's sitting next to us.
I appreciate that.
People that
This
haven't
ain't
heard
just
about
nobody.
Gary Neal.
This ain't just anybody now. He had a real good
You're gonna know
professional
Gary
basketball
Neal.
career.
You're gonna know Gary Neal by the end of this.
I appreciate the love.
So after Towson, you went undrafted. You went overseas, had a little run, Turkey, Spain, Italy. Tell us a little bit about that experience for the fans out there that don't know that life, traveling around Europe, different cities. You're 22, 23.
Yeah. For me, I mean, I was a military kid. My father was in the military. That's how we landed at Aberdeen. We were originally from Annapolis, Maryland. So for me, traveling to another country, traveling to different cities wasn't really a big deal because as a kid, I had done that. I lived in Hanau, Germany. I lived in Frankfurt, Germany. So I was used to that. So for me, it was just about just chasing my dream. And I knew that I had to put everything aside, my personal feelings and, being in a different country, being away from your family to achieve my goal. And that's what I set out to do. My first job was in Turkey. Through the grace of God, I was able to play well and stay healthy. And I played well in Turkey. Then I got to Spain. And the cycle just continued for me. I was able to play well, which I was fortunate to do. And I played in Turkey, Spain, and Italy. And the San Antonio Spurs came to me with an offer, which was surprising to me because I just wasn't aware of that. I was just taking it one day at a time, trying to be the best basketball player I could be. And through the grace of God, everything worked out for me.
So you were just focused. You were just focused on your craft. You didn't let, I guess, the environment you were in, kind of deter you. You just kind of had your focus, and then you did what you had to do, and the Spurs came and found you.
Yeah. I just had my mind set on making it to the NBA. That was my big thing. But I knew I couldn't skip steps. I had to take it one day at a time, one practice at a time, one game at a time, and that's what I was able to do. I was able to stay healthy, and that's what I did. And after 3 seasons overseas, I got a call. My agent told me that the San Antonio Spurs were interested in me, and they wanted me to come to minicamp. And I was like, wow, really? The San Antonio Spurs?
Especially under Greg Popovich.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. I was like, oh, wow, this is amazing. And I was able to, play well and take advantage of that opportunity.
So it was July 22nd, 2010. They offered you a 3-year contract. So you said you went overseas. Big picture was always getting to the NBA, but for all you kids out there, like he said, took the little steps every day.
You have to. Yeah. The little steps are important.
Goals.
Yeah, you have to set goals. And what happens is a lot of times when you're chasing your dreams, and Bush has achieved the dream, played in the NFL at a high level, Pro Bowl, so like. You have to take it one day at a time. You can't skip a step, because when you skip a step, you're cheating yourself. And when you cheat yourself, you're only hurting yourself at the end of the day. So you have to take it one day at a time, one practice at a time, one game at a time, and that's what I was, fortunate enough to do. I had the right mindset. Bush had the right mindset. He was able to do that, and we were able to play at a high level and stay there.
So they gave you a contract. But it was still an opportunity. You still had to earn your spot. You still had to earn
everything.
Everything. Which you did while you were there. I'm going to take you to a rough moment in your life, I think. So bear with me. Game 6, 2013 NBA Finals. You guys are up 3-2. LeBron misses a 3 with 10 seconds left.
Why are you doing this to me?
He is a stat man.
Yeah, bro. I thought we were friends, bro. I thought this was family up here, bro.
I thought it was a friendly conversation we're going to have.
You're cursing at me right now, man.
Bosh gets the rebound, kicks it to Ray Allen.
He just keeps going.
Yeah, he just
steps
keeps going.
back.
You don't have to give the whole play-by-play. He stepped back, shoots it, switch.
Because I thought he traveled. He stepped back to make sure he's behind the 3-point line. 5.2 seconds left. That close. Winning the championship.
Yeah, that was.
Take us through your emotions. Just.
It was heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. That was probably my worst experience as a professional. I mean, when you look back on it, you put so much effort in that. You have great teammates, great coach and Pop, Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Monty Ginobili, Kawhi Leonard. You just have so many guys. Yeah, you have so many guys that are so good and so great and so professional, great people. And you get this close, you get like, you're really like an inch away. Like if Ray Allen just like doesn't get this much room or the shot is a little short, he misses and we win the championship.
The margin of victory, man. Professionals, it's literally, it's this much. Like it's not even an inch, you know. You can't give some guys an inch.
Yeah, man, and it's like, and the biggest thing I remember about that is they had the rope out. So if you ever watched the NBA Finals, or people who watch NBA Finals, when when your game's about to be over, they put the rope around the court, so nobody can rush the court except for family.
Right.
They had the yellow rope out.
That's tough.
Yeah. That's tough. Yeah.
Let's move along.
Yeah,
I mean, you just.
Yeah,
so let's jump into this one.
Me just sucker punched me. Wow, bro.
I'm gonna pick you up right
He's
now.
gonna bring you back to life.
A week before that was Game 3 of the Finals, and Mr. Neal, sitting to my right, scored a career playoff high 24 points. You were 9 of 17 from the field, 6 of 10 from 3-point range. I remember watching that game at a bar in New York and going, I know him. And everybody's like, shut up, sit down. But that was a great moment, I'm sure, for you, and a great moment for everyone who knows you, everyone you touched along the way, was chanting your name. So you guys blew them out 113 to 77. I'm sorry. So that was. I'm gonna pick you up a little bit there. That was a great moment.
Yeah, that was. And then one thing, I would say my best professional experience was my 3 years with San Antonio. Coach Pop, R.C. Buford, those guys gave me the opportunity to live my dream. So I'll always be thankful to those, to Coach Pop and R.C. But one thing about Coach Pop is he's very straightforward. He tells you the truth.
I was literally just about to ask you how was it playing under Coach Pop?
But he tells you the truth. He tells you when you're bad. He tells you when you're good. But one thing about Coach Pop with me, he never said I took a bad shot. So he gave me the confidence to be the player I was to shoot the ball.
That's understanding. That's understanding.
You shot the ball a lot. But that's what got you there. Because you shot the ball like you weren't scared to shoot.
Yeah. And Coach Pop was never one of those guys. He jumped on me to defend and be a tough guy and, do all the right things. But offensively, he might have said maybe in my 3 years, he might have said 1 or 2 things to me.
That has to be a good feeling because that means he trusted you.
Yes.
When
he believed in my ability. Yep.
Yeah, when you have trust like that from a coach, especially at the professional level, that's literally everything because it can catapult your career. If you go down the wrong path, it can end your career. And I've seen so many great talents come through my league who just really couldn't function or really didn't have a good, good communication with coaches, a good relationship with coaches, and you see these great talents come and they go. So that's pretty much when I was in the league. That's how I was like, okay, I'll be the most reliable person. I might not be the best physically one out here, but I'm going to make sure that I know what I'm doing at all times. You can trust me. That's real, man. That's real. And I tell you what was a pretty cool story or a pretty cool moment is whenever you would come to town, wherever I was at, I would always try to pop up. When he's playing, I'd be I might splurge a little bit on the floor. You know what I'm saying? I can't. He said he won't even see me.
No. One time, see, this is what I'm talking about. One time I seen him, He was at a Dallas game. He was sitting on the floor underneath the basket. I seen him. I seen him.
Hey, hold on.
Okay,
Hey, hold on.
okay, bro.
Because Towson is playing the Delaware
Jerry.
Blue Hens. Hey, Dad, we are playing the Blue Hens.
We are.
And
we're on Towson here.
We are at another Bushrod family tailgate. Come around here, brother. Come around here, brother Bushrod.
Brother,
We are here at another Bushrod family tailgate. This is where the tailgate started, and we have some fresh hen for us Towson Tigers to feast on today, because we're going to eat this hen.
And then we're going to eat the blue
We're going to
hens.
eat the blue hen.
Blue hen?
Johnny United
Going
Stadium.
down.
Yes, sir.
You better stay tuned. We're going to let them things cool off real quick.
They look a little hot.
And then Joey gonna get us on camera, making sure that we eating them things, and we're gonna get it on camera. That's another Jerry Bushrod special. So, but let's get back to Mr. Gary Neal here and the rest of the story.
So after San Antonio,
You, baby.
you go to Milwaukee, short stint with the Bucks. Then you go to, like you said, you played for Jordan in Charlotte with the Bobcats / Hornets. You were there for the transition. Went to Minnesota with the Timberwolves. Came home to Washington. A short stint in the D League. Then in 2018, you went back overseas. Went to Spain. Now you're what, 33, 34, going back over there?
Yeah, I'm an old guy.
Yeah, old guy, probably winding down his career.
Yeah.
You might have heard the phrase washed up. I'm just saying you might have.
Yo, Bushrod. I mean, me. Hey, Bush, man. Hey, when we went to school, man, you said, man, ain't nobody messing with G Neal, man. You letting me mess with you? Letting me mess with you like this, man?
I'm building it up. Look, so you might have heard you were
I ain't gonna lie to you. If you just hit him one good time in the ribs, I ain't gonna say
I got down like a sack of potatoes. So, you might have heard the term washed up, but you go over there and you're the leading scorer in the whole league with the ACB, and you finished third in MVP scoring.
Yeah.
At the end of your career.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing. When I was with the Wizards, I had microfracture surgery on my hip. And you know, as an athlete, you never want your career to end with an injury. You just don't want it. You know, just as your competitive spirit and everything, you just like, no, you know what I mean? Like I got a couple years left in me. So, you know, just talking to my agent, he was like, you know, the NBA, you know, they're kind of, you know, going in a different direction, which I understand. So 33, coming off you know.
They start to look at you a little bit different. Well, I know in the NFL, once you turn 30, they're like, I don't know if this guy really has it.
Yeah, and then coming off of the surgery that I had, which is a serious surgery, I could understand it. So I said, you know what, I'm going to put everything into this. And I went to Spain with the mindset of every practice matters, every game matters. And I would say outside of my first 2 years in San Antonio, that was probably my best season.
That's
probably my best.
Amazing.
That's a good story, man. You know, you go out, you pretty much went out on your terms. I mean, let's keep it a buck here. You know, like you could have went and had another opportunity over there somewhere. You could have kept going, but you are a family man, correct?
Yes, sir.
You are married, and you have four children. So you're busy. You know, so I'm
With
just
the kids, with the kids.
Yes, with the kids. I mean, 4 kids, he's busy doing something else either, but we are not that type of show, ladies and gentlemen. We are not that type of show.
Hey, Lee, you heard that, right?
But you know, man, it's just been a great ride, man. It's been a great ride for you to see the success that you did have, and the success that you're having now. I mean, you want to tell the folks what you're doing now?
Well, thanks, Bush, for your great words. Your ride has been amazing to watch too. And we followed you. I mean, everybody knows Bush, so his ride's been amazing. Super Bowl champion. So congratulations on that. If I told you probably 3,000 times.
Get a room, you two. Jeez.
Oh, are you upset because somebody else?
Jealous.
You know, I mean, look, I kind of like the Bush and Neal show.
I'm gonna get. All right, so tell us what you're doing now.
Yeah. So now I'm an assistant coach. Me and Coach Scary have had a good relationship since he's taken over the job here. So my title is a graduate manager. I'm in grad school trying to get my master's in teaching. That's what I've always wanted to do, be a teacher. So I mean, everything, the transition for athletes, and Bush, you can testify to this too because you've been around it. It's the biggest issue for us.
Sure.
Is what are you going to do
now
when the ball stops?
Because look, you know what's difficult, especially, I mean, for both of us. For the time you get up in the morning, you have meetings at 8 for us. But you know, you get older, so you're in there a couple hours before. You know when every single meeting is. You know when you eat breakfast, lunch, and pretty much dinner.
Yeah.
You know when
so
you
regimented.
Everything is. So then, you know, I just retired in August. I was pretty much retired before that. I mean, if you follow my Instagram, you would see that I had a few vacations I took, but you know now, you know my kids are back in school, so it's like, what am I going to do with my time?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to figure out what you're going to do. So retired life, you know, has been fun for me. You know, it's been fun for me. We're doing the show. We got you on here. I'm a family man as well. My 4th one is on the way. Shout out to my wife. I'm glad you gave me clearance for this one. I didn't really. I mean, I got clearance for the Chicago one. This one, I had to kind of go in there, you know, kind of walking on eggshells.
Flight in, quick flight out.
You know,
you had to send an email and a text.
Straight up. Yeah. She's been holding it down for a minute, man. You know, and you know, she's a trooper. She's a beast. So shout out to my wife. But
Thanks,
man,
Jess.
Yeah. But it's been what a great story.
So now you're here coaching at our alma mater.
Yeah.
It feels like it's full circle, man. I remember seeing you guys in the union. You know, you football guys were always walking around. There's always so many of you guys. There's always like 30 of you.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
Like a wolf pack.
But it is great, you know, it is great to come back and watch one of our alma mater play a sport, whether it be women's lacrosse or basketball. But when you have somebody as close as we are, like you say, it brings us a little closer.
Sure.
So I mean, we're gonna come back and support you.
Oh, this is great.
You know, I will locally. I don't know about Miami boy.
I'm going to get back a couple times.
We'll be on this ESPN favorite team.
There you go.
For sure. For sure. I'm definitely following, you know, and I got, you know, you're alongside one of my family members now, you know.
Yeah, B-Mac,
Yeah, my brother-in-law, Brandon McDonald, you know, he married my sister. I'm watching you.
Brother not by choice.
Yeah. But you know, man, look, we appreciate you coming out here. Is that everything we got?
No, we got trivia.
Oh, we do have trivia.
Before we have trivia,
yeah.
Give us your thoughts on the NBA this year. There's a lot of new faces, new places. Who do you see in the finals? Who do you have winning?
Hey, one thing about me, I'm loyal to a fault, and Kawhi Leonard was one of the best teammates I've ever had. Very quiet, but a great teammate, hard worker, humble, one of the best players in the NBA.
Clip show?
Oh yes, I'm Kawhi. I'm Kawhi till I die.
I like that.
Yeah. So
you gotta be loyal, man.
Yeah, gotta be. I'm going with Kawhi, baby.
You should trademark that. Make T-shirts.
I should. He might charge. He might charge me. Yeah.
Hold on now.
New Balance might take care of me. I don't know.
So Clippers over who? Clippers over who?
Clippers over. I'm gonna go with the Greek Freak. I played with Giannis when he was a kid, young kid.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He's put on a lot of muscle, a lot of, you know.
Play with everybody.
I know, I've been around. Yeah. Don't age me.
Well, actually, I played for Jordan.
Yeah. So I'm going with the Greek Freak in the finals. I'm going Clippers 4-2, 4 wins.
There you go.
Against the Milwaukee Bucks. That's my final.
There you go. If you guys are in Vegas, he called it. Six games.
Yep.
They're gonna win 4 games to 2. Clippers over Bucks.
And hey, they didn't get Paul George yet.
True.
That is a fact. Where were you at, Stat Man?
Where were you at, Stat Man?
I'm saving Paul George for our last trivia question.
Oh, yes. All right,
now you're gonna get it wrong.
Let's get some trivia.
All right, trivia. You're in the hot seat.
Okay,
Gary Neal. NBA career. What was your career high points? Who was it against?
Being that I just cheated and looked at the paper, my career high.
You see me trying to hide it? I see his eyes. I was like, let me put this back here.
Yeah. Me and Jamal had a class together. Hey.
They used to cheat.
Hey, when we all hey. You know, teamwork is dream work. You know, teamwork makes the dream work, bro.
Got it, Joe. Got it.
All right. So what do you think it was, Gary?
I'm gonna say 29-20. Ding ding ding.
Do you know who it was against?
It was either against the Houston Rockets or the Portland Trailblazers.
You had it the first time. Houston Rockets, you had a career high 7 3-pointers in overtime.
Yep.
All right.
It was like 138 to 136. It was a high scoring game.
This one, I guarantee you will not get.
Okay. That's a lot.
That's a challenge.
Let's go.
You're coaching Towson now.
Yes.
When's the last time the Tigers made it to the NCAA tournament? Tick tock, tick tock.
Oh, no, I know. It was 1990. Four.
Is that answer done?
4. Or 3.
94.
93. 4, 93. Or 2. 92.
Somewhere between 1992.
Somewhere between
90 and
90 and 2000. No, but it was
91.
Well, 92 season. 91, 92 season. Or 90,
so it was the
91.
90, 91.
Oh, you guys are cheating. You're football guys.
sorry.
Typical football guys.
Sorry. They lost to the Ohio State Buckeyes,
Buckeyes,
97-86 as a 16th seed.
Yeah,
That's good.
That's the last time.
That's
so
a good fight.
That's something you can tell the guys in the locker room. This will be the first team since 91. Tell them. All right.
So aggressive.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Football guys.
All right. I've been beating you up all day. When I saw this, I said, "Oh my God, this guy's my friend." Used to be. 2011, you made NBA first team All-Rookie team. Can you name the other 4 guys that made it with you?
Are you really going to disrespect me like that? That's crazy. So I'm going to go John Wall,
Correct.
Blake Griffin,
Correct. Wow.
Landry Field.
Correct.
Yeah, you
Now, this is the one that gets me because I'm thinking of Derek Favors, but it's DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, baby.
Did you see the paper?
No, I didn't. No.
I tried to hide it again.
You don't make awards, bro, at the highest level and don't remember the award.
When I saw that, I said, "Oh my God." So here's where the Paul George reference comes up. Paul George made second team.
I know, but that was different though.
Gary Neal made first team. Paul George made second team. Sorry, Paul, if you're watching.
That's Towson
You can still
strong,
like it.
baby.
Hey, Paul, you can exchange with me anytime. I think you're about 140 million up, bro. Call me, bro.
That's awesome. That's a great honor. Great story.
Thank you, man. I
We're glad to
appreciate-
have you back at
appreciate the love,
Towson
man. Appreciate
for the
the love.
Towson Delaware game. It's been a pleasure, Gary.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
He's got a playoff soccer game he's about to go coach.
Yeah, it's 2 o'clock.
So you coach. Hold on. You're doubling up.
Yeah, I'm doubling up.
You're coaching the Towson men's basketball team. You're assistant coach, and you're coaching your.
I'm coaching 10U,
10U
men's. No, actually,
Boys.
co-ed.
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 Oh,
Soccer, baby. We got
Nice.
a playoff game today at 2.
there you go.
Go, Havity Grace.
There you go. Having a grace. We gotta get you out of here if you gotta get to having a grace. Gary, we love you. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you, guys.
It's been a
Appreciate it.
pleasure. We'll be back
Go
after
to you,
this.
baby. Gary Neal here, just wrapped up with the Bush and Me show. Had a ball, Towson University. Go TU.
Welcome back to the Bush and Me show, and we are finally at my favorite part of the show.
Finally.
Where the food at? It's right here in front of us. We got some tailgate specials, man.
It's the Bushrod tailgate.
The Bushrod tailgate special. Shout out to the Bushrod. Shout out to just everybody here, man. There's so many people here. We have a great,
It's Jerry Bushrod and the crew.
yeah, JB and the crew.
Like David Ruffin and the Temptations.
Yes, with JB and the crew, baby. They on the grills, the fryers. Man, it's beautiful. We got the RV out here. It's awesome. What we got here? What we got on these plates here today?
They've been doing this strong for what? 17 years now.
17
Since 2002,
years, man.
since we met.
Yeah.
So on these plates, it looks like they brought us some chicken wings. You want to start with chicken wings? I know you like the chicken
You
wings.
know I love my chicken wings. I'm gonna start with this here.
Try that one. We're sharing a plate here. Sharing is caring.
Since you said on the last show I don't describe the food much, this has a great crunchy shell to the outside. How's it taste?
I like it.
Is it better than?
I'm gonna go with the Bushrod. I like it.
I like it. Is it better than Harold's?
It's better than Harold's to me.
Oh
It's
yeah.
juicy. It's flavorful on the outside. Now, when I tried Harold's naked, I thought it was dry. The sauce added to it. I like it. This seems like it's seasoned.
Seasoned better for
It's
sure.
not overcooked.
Big fan of this.
It's got a big crisp to it, but it's also moist on the inside.
Okay. What we got next?
Jerry's chicken wings over Harold.
Those
Chicago,
wings
I
are
love
fire!
That was Gary Neal in the background.
Gary Neal,
He just
big fan.
pretty much just gave us our stamp of approval on the wings. What are we gonna go with next? Let's go with a side.
Grab your fork.
Let's get my fork. I'm gonna wipe it off.
Go with the potato salad.
Let's go with the potato salad. I'm gonna get a little bite here.
Looks like there's a little either paprika or Old Bay or something.
Nah,
like
that's
that.
paprika. Definitely not an Old Bay. You know how we do. You don't eat everybody's potato salad. But this potato salad right here,
I don't think I've ever had the potato salad. 12 years of, or 17 years
fire.
of tailgating.
I need another. I need more. You got the relish, the potatoes. Got good seasoning to it. Real good seasoning. I've been eating this for a long time.
I'm gonna say I don't like potato salad that's too chunky, and then sometimes you get it's too creamy.
Yeah.
This has like that perfect mixture.
Yeah.
It's got chunks in there, but it's not too chunky.
Yeah.
And it also has a little cream to it, so it's not dry.
It's perfect.
I like it.
Next, we're gonna move over here to this fish.
Oh God.
Oh, hey, this is why the people showed up.
This is my favorite. I thought we were saving this to the end.
Crispy
We're
golden.
diving in.
No, we got something else for the end, and that's them hens that we're gonna eat. Shout out to Delaware just being the target today. You're in the way for the Towson Tigers. Woo! My goodness. Listen to me.
My mouth is full right now, but this is my favorite thing at the Bushrod tailgate. The fish.
Got a nice crispy golden shell.
I will tell you a little story about the fish.
Tell it to me.
We were here for what, 4.5 years, and your parents would always tailgate our home games. Some away games, but always home games. I would say, oh, Jerry, this is so good. He said, well, it should be. We just caught it this morning. For 10 years, I thought they went fishing every morning we had a game. Came and cooked it fresh for us.
So gullible.
Like 4 years ago, he was like, you believe that story,
But that's how good it tastes. It tastes that good, you feel like it was cooked this
Tastes like
morning.
it's fresh.
Or caught this morning.
All right, we got green beans.
You know, green beans are green beans. You got to get your greens in your kids. Solid. Always solid. Always solid.
Very good. They've been marinating. Jump over here to the mac and cheese.
Man, hey,
I'm not a
hey,
big greens guy anyway, if you can tell by my figure.
Not a
This
good-
also has a little crisp to it.
This mac and cheese right here, this mac and cheese ain't no joke. Listen to me.
I've been eating this for 17 years. How many years you been eating the mac and cheese?
I don't know. I'm just gonna pick it up by my hand. Put my napkin. Man.
You can tell it's not Kraft, I'll tell you that.
No.
It's the baked macaroni cheese that your aunt brings over on the holidays. But we get it every tailgate.
Yeah. You know,
Delicious.
you just gotta give Pops a little notice, man. He'll make sure anything, you'll have whatever you want. You gonna steal my piece?
That's what I do.
It is what it is. All right, look.
B-roll.
I've had the gumbo. It is a little cool out here. I want you to get in the gumbo.
You get some gumbo.
Try that.
Warm your inside.
Well, you would have thought Pops from Louisiana as good as that gumbo is. I think I'm joking. What do you got up in there? Crab, sausage,
Oh my
shrimp.
God.
You put a whole half a crab in there. I love it.
Oh my God.
It's good, huh?
So this is so flavorful. It jumps up there with the fish.
Like that? Get another piece of fish. That's fire, man.
I did not expect the gumbo to have that much pop to it.
You don't know Jerry Bushrod, do you?
He's got flavor. He's got flavor in his pocket walking around.
But last but not least,
What did we say for last?
we at Towson today and we about to eat some blue hen.
Who we playing today?
We eating blue hen today.
Delaware.
We
We got the
eating
blue hens.
We are eating blue hen today. I'm sorry, Delaware, but you in the Tigers den.
We're crushing it.
You are in
Blue
the
hens
Tigers
going
den.
down.
I'm sorry.
We're going down.
Hey, you see the juice falling
On the
out there?
field, off the field.
Hey, I'm sorry, Delaware. Well, we gotta eat that hen today, baby.
You're going down, Delaware.
Woo! I'm sorry. To any Delaware fans out there,
You're
we
going down.
you're gonna
Delaware's
get eaten
going
on the
down.
field and we're eating you off the field too. Right, hey, hold.
Joe Flacco took you to the championship.
Hold
Tom
on.
Flacco's
We got
taking
another
you home
Towson
today.
alum. My dog Marcus Evans, he wants some of this blue hen.
Get some blue hen in there, Marcus.
Because we beat them
You know
blue
what?
hens a couple
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, we
Go
beat
ahead and
those
get up
blue
in there, get yourself some blue hen.
Yeah.
Any other Tigers want some blue hen? What's up, baby? Good to see you. That's Gary Neal rolling out. Get him in the. Get him. Hey,
casually rolling out.
I see the NBA page. Wow. Oh yes.
Casually
I
rolling
ain't mad
out
at that.
in the Porsche.
I ain't mad at that.
Blue hens, you're going
Come
down.
on, mama. Come on, mama.
Flacco. Who wants
Come
blue
on,
hen?
this is a Towson mom. Go on and get yourself some of this blue hen, mom.
blue hen.
Go ahead and get yourself some of this blue hen. Tell, hey, go get
some blue
on
hen.
up in here. Get on up in here.
Blue hen.
Go on and get yourself some blue hen. Y'all want some blue hen? Come on over here and get some blue hen. Blue hen for
Tear it up.
everybody.
Tear it up.
All Towson people eating blue hen today. That's some good
Get in
blue
there.
hen. I'm telling
How's that victory taste?
Yeah, go ahead and get yourself that leg there, brother.
give me
Yes,
this
sir.
right
Get
here.
yourself a leg.
Get in there.
All Towson people.
Blue hen.
We are eating blue
Look, they
hen
fall
today.
apart. They so
Mama, did
weak.
you get some? Mama got some
They're
too.
so weak.
Dad, you
Blue
get
hen.
some? You cooked it. You want some? man. It's good. You see it half gone.
Victory always tastes good.
Man, go on over here and get yourself some of this
Towson Dad to get a little bit of this blue hen.
Jermon, while we're eating some blue hen, why don't you give me a little score prediction for today?
Oh, man.
What do you got Tommy Flacco doing?
It's a big day. We need this victory today. I say we're gonna go ahead and pull it out by 2 touchdowns. Tom Flacco's gonna have a big day. Every single victory counts. Every single game counts. We need W's. We're trying to make this playoff push. Tom Flacco's gonna have another big day. He's gonna continue to solidify himself as one of the best Towson quarterbacks in the game to come through Towson. But I like what he's doing out there on the field. Our defense has to show up. Our playmakers have to make plays. But
what do you got? High scoring, low scoring?
I told you about 2 touchdowns.
Oh, 2 touchdowns. But high scoring, low scoring?
Let's go mid. Let's go 35-21.
I like it.
Towson in a good column.
I like it.
What about yourself?
I'm gonna say Towson's defense steps up a little bit today.
Whoa. You are in enemy territory, sir.
Towson's gonna step up. We're gonna crush the Blue Hens 38-17. Right here, you heard it. They're going down. Blue Hens are going down.
You see him.
Blue Hens are going down.
Hey.
38-17, Towson, you heard it here. That's the field review.
We feasting on the field and off the field. We just, man, we out here crushing Blue Hens.
Crushing Blue Hens.
The rest of that's
We're gonna
yours.
go inside and do it too. That's the food review. We'll be back with our NFL talk and picks after this.
Welcome back to the Bush and Me Show. It's time for us to talk a little NFL. It's time for you to do your thing, Stat Man.
Uh-oh, here come the stats.
Stat Man, where are you?
A little NFL talk, and then we'll get into the much anticipated picks that you guys are waiting for.
Yes.
For Bush. Drew Brees came back last week.
Who that?
Some controversy on whether or not he should have come back, maybe give him a few more weeks of rest. Teddy was playing really well, but he came back.
Teddy stayed ready.
Teddy did stay ready, 5-0 in Brees' absence. Brees came back. Do you think that was the right decision?
I don't know. Let me see if it was the right decision. He dropped back 43 times. He completed the ball 34.
Correct.
For 373 yards. 3 tutties, that's touchdowns, a QBR of 116.4, and a 31-9 win over the Cardinals in the Superdome.
Look at you, stat man.
Hey, you wrote the stats, I repeat them. But obviously I think it was the right move. How about, what do you think?
I'm not a big believer, as I said before, of someone losing their position because of an injury. So I know he and Peyton have been together for years. There's a trust factor there. So
Yes.
Drew says he's ready. Drew gets in the driver's seat.
Absolutely.
Sorry, Teddy. Thanks for driving while Drew was taking a nap.
But I'm gonna tell you what Teddy did. Teddy made himself some money.
He did.
Teddy made himself some money. He took the opportunity he had. He put his best foot forward, and yeah, you know, whether he stays in New Orleans or if he goes with another team, he will be just fine.
There's a few bumblebees out here.
Yes, it is. And I'm not trying to get stung. You don't want to get stung on that nugget,
It's
buddy.
on my head. It got in my hair, I think.
Yeah, so I think Drew Brees coming back was the right move. I think Teddy put himself in a really, really good position financially, and his career.
Of course, and he helped the team. The one thing in the NFL, as you know, it's next man up.
Yes.
He stepped up and he did what Drew would have done if he was there. 5-0, went into some tough
You
places
can't
to
ask
play.
him to do much better than that. I mean, he was perfect. In Drew's absence, he was perfect. Shout out to Teddy. Shout out to Sean Payton and the rest of the coaching staff and the defense, because everybody came together
Right,
and just helped the mission.
team victory.
Yeah, that's what it's about. That's what championship teams are made of.
So we have 2 more situations like that.
Yes.
The Carolina Panthers and the Jacksonville Jaguars both have, what was at the beginning of the season, backup quarterbacks
Yes.
starting right now. Panthers, we'll start with them.
Yeah.
They're 4-3, 4-1 under Kyle Allen. They just lost 51-13 in San Francisco.
It's tough. It's a tough place to play. They're rolling. San Fran is now 8-0.
8-0. So Cam Newton, there's some rumors he might come back soon. There's also some rumors that he has to go see another specialist. They have the Titans this week, but then they have a brutal schedule coming up at the Packers, first the Seahawks at home, then they go into Indianapolis and play the Colts, who are surprising some people, and they have to play the Saints twice. So Do you think if Cam comes back,
Cam has to be 100% healthy first.
okay,
That foot injury he's dealing with, you know, you don't want to get out there and be 70, 80% as a quarterback, especially someone like him who's pretty mobile, but he does stay in the pocket and throws the ball pretty well. I think he needs to rest until he's 100%, and when he's 100%, he should come back. But Kyle Allen is doing a great job filling in. Like you said earlier, he's 4-1. You have to feel good about what he's done, about his future. Cam Newton's going to come back. I did say on the show previously in Chicago that maybe they should leave Kyle Allen in, but he is a rookie. He wasn't expecting to have this opportunity, but he had this opportunity. So he's going to build on it, but you know, you got to give your general back the quarterback and let him get under center and do his thing.
so we were in Chicago. They were 4-0. Now they were 4-0 under Kyle Allen. Now they're 4-1. So you kind of fell off the bandwagon a little bit after.
No, because what you said was true. You know, what you said was true about, you know, you shouldn't lose your spot due to injury. It happens. It happened to me. But you know what?
Having 4 you and 2 you.
Yeah, exactly. Very true.
It's a cycle.
Yes,
It's a cycle.
It is a cycle. And that's the NFL, ladies and gentlemen, in the nutshell.
So, to sum it up, you're going to say, just like Drew, if Cam's ready, he's 100%, throw him back in.
Yeah, I don't see how you sit Cam Newton.
It's a situational thing. So we'll move to Jacksonville. They're 4-4. They're a game and a half out of first place, so 4-4 doesn't sound that great, but they're within striking distance. They play the Texans in London this week. Then they have a bye. Rumor is, after the bye week, Nick Foles is going to be ready. They have a favorable schedule after the bye week. Titans, Bucks, Chargers, Raiders, Falcons, and Colts twice. All winnable games with that defense that they have, with that rushing attack that they have. They're 5th in rushing. They're 14th in passing with Minshew Mania. What do you do here? You're the GM. I'm sorry. You're the head coach. What do you do here?
They paid Nick Foles a good chunk of change, didn't they?
Chunk of change. Back to Armour Cara.
Exactly. So, yeah, it's the same kind of situation. Minshew was a rookie. He is a rookie. He wasn't expecting to be in here because they just signed Nick Foles. You give Nick Foles, the former Super Bowl MVP, you give him his spot back so he can do what he did in the past. I mean, last year, we got after him a little bit, but he was able to have success later on in the season. You got to give it to Nick Foles. You have to. You have to give it back to him because you invested a lot of money into him. And the great thing about it is you have Minshew back there. You have a very reliable backup. You understand that. So to me, Jacksonville's sitting in a pretty good place when it comes to your general, the guy who's
running your offense.
Pretty much, yes.
I agree with you there. They have the 10th ranked offense in the league right now.
Wow.
Like we said, 14th in passing, 5th in rushing. But I believe, you know, it's Foles' spot, especially monetarily.
Yeah.
They're paying him a lot of money, like you said. Put him back in, see if he still has it. So the NFL stands for not for long.
Yeah.
There is some guaranteed money, but if he's not the guy, they can cut it and move forward with Minshew.
Right.
The NFL trade deadline just came and went.
Yes.
There was a lot of noise, more noise this year than historically. Some things were going to happen. The Jets were going to trade their safety. The Ravens were looking for a pass rusher, all that kind of stuff. But not a lot happened. There were 4 big moves that did happen. I'm going to run through them. You tell me which one you think was the best move. I'm going to say this one and just hold back because I know you're going to say this was it. Kenyon Drake to the Cardinals for a conditional 6th-round pick. Zip. Emmanuel Sanders to the 49ers for a 3rd and 4th round pick. Leonard Williams to the Giants. Now this was the first ever trade between the Jets and Giants, the New York teams, which I thought was very interesting because they've both been in the league for 70 years.
Statman is at it again. Statman is.
So
at
he
it
was
again.
he was traded for a 3rd rounder and a future 5th rounder. He's a former 6th overall pick. And Aqib Talib was traded. Aqib, I always mess that up. Aqib Talib was traded to the Miami Dolphins for a 5th round pick. Now that was more of a salary dump. They're saying they want to sign Ramsey long term. They need to free up some money to do that. So they got rid of him to Miami just for a 5th round pick. Don't mean to downplay that one, but Jermon Bushrod, which one do you think was the best move?
I'm going to say for my fantasy, I'm going with Kenyon Drake.
Of course.
Because Miami was not feeding him the ball at all. And he has great speed. He can be physical when needed. But look what he did this past game, Thursday Night Football, versus the San Francisco 49ers, who have a pretty stout defense.
Yeah.
Kenyon Drake went 110 yards on 15 carries, 7.3 yards average, and a touchdown, and 52 yards on 4 catches. And this is they gave him an opportunity when the Miami Dolphins wouldn't give him an opportunity. So shout out to Kenyon Drake, just kind of keeping his focus in front of him and having an opportunity to do his thing with the Cardinals. But this Emmanuel Sanders one is kind of sticking out in my head. But you know,
let me take that over for you.
You do that one. I'm staying with Kenyon because, like you said, that's my dude, and I'm just glad he got this opportunity because Miami wasn't showing him any love. He goes to Arizona, has a big first game, so shout out to Kenyon. That's what I'm going with.
I'm going to go with the Emmanuel Sanders thing because before that, could you name any wide receivers on the 49ers? No. So
good one.
So now they have Kittle at tight end. That's their leading receiver. But now that even opens Kittle up even more because they were scheming things towards Kittle. You can double him with a linebacker, safety, come down.
Sure.
Now Sanders, as you saw Thursday night, is going to open things up. He had 7 catches, 112 yards, and a touchdown in his first game. He didn't have a whole week of practice.
He doesn't even have any. He doesn't even have any chemistry.
No chemistry, no practice, no timing, and 7 catches for 112 yards. You fantasy owners out there love that. He wasn't doing anything in Denver. Joe Flacco, second shout out of you.
Shout out you.
So I'm gonna go with that one. I think now Jimmy Garoppolo has another bullet in his gun. Greg Kittle is going to open things up for him even more for you fantasy owners out there. You're going to love seeing Kittle get the ball more from what Sanders opens up to. I'm going with that one. You're going with Kenyon Drake.
That's fair, yeah.
All right. We're going to run through our next segment, biggest surprise, and kind of just some general questions. First one's going to be, who do you think will be the last undefeated team? Right now we have the Patriots and the 49ers. As we've said the last 3 weeks, they're both winning. 49ers have already won this week. Patriots have the Ravens this week. Who are you going with?
This is a big week for the Patriots because they really haven't been tested the way that they need to. I understand that they are 8-0, 7-0. But they go into Baltimore this week with a very explosive offense, led by Lamar Jackson, Mark Ingram, okay? And then you have a defense. I love Baltimore's defense. And they picked up Marcus Peters, and you see the success they had. I feel good about the Ravens having a good chance, but we're going to talk about that.
We'll get to that, but the pick's a little later.
Yeah, but I'll say the 49ers have a better chance. Well, they already won this week.
They did. So they do have a better chance.
They do have a better chance.
Tough game for the Patriots this week against the Ravens. If they do get past the Ravens this week, they follow up bye. Then they go into Philadelphia against the Eagles. They have the Cowboys at home. They go to Houston. And then week 14, they host the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes.
Patrick Mahomes should definitely be back by then.
Yes.
That could be a great game. That could be a Bush and me game of the week.
Game of the week.
The 49ers already won this week. They have a brutal schedule coming up.
Yeah.
They play the Seahawks in San Fran, but still a tough team
Very tough
to compete against.
It's always hard to go.
Play the Cardinals again. Then they host the Packers. Then they go into Baltimore, into New Orleans, play the Rams at home, and into Seattle. That's a brutal run.
49ers are going to be they got a tough schedule coming up.
That's 4 tough games in Baltimore, in New Orleans, host the Rams in Seattle. That's got to be one of the toughest there is out there. I'm gonna say the 49ers are gonna stay undefeated the longest, but they got a tough schedule.
Absolutely.
Going the other way. Which team do you think will be the last team to get a win? Now I know your heart is in Miami as well as your address. You have the Cincinnati Bengals and the Miami Dolphins are the 2 winless teams. Bengals have a bye this week. Then they host Baltimore, go into Oakland, play the Steelers at home, the Jets at home. Now week 16 is the Bengals at the Dolphins.
You think they're still going to be winless?
Are we going to have 2 winless teams? So I'll give you a rundown. The Dolphins go Jets, Colts, Bills. If they don't beat the Jets, they're going Colts, Bills, Browns, Eagles.
It's a tough day. Who will be the last team to get a win? I like the Dolphins' chances this week. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but
We're also going to talk about that game.
Yes, we are. I like the Dolphins' chances this week, so I'll say Dolphins.
Okay, I'm going to say this is going to play out the way maybe Tua wants it to. I think we're going to have 2 winless teams week 16. You heard it here first.
Wow.
2 winless teams. It's going to be the Tank Bowl, the 3rd Tank Bowl of the year.
Yes.
Bengals, Dolphins, they'll be playing for the #1 overall pick, week 16. Tune in then. We'll pick that game.
Of course, we got
Why
to.
not? Now for the surprises this year. When I saw this, I was a little surprised. I didn't put this on your sheet, so you don't know who this is.
I just thought you left something out.
This quarterback is leading the league in passing with 2,367 yards. Who do you think that is?
Dak Prescott?
It is not.
I don't have a clue.
Jared Goff.
I should have knew that because yeah.
If you told me that at the beginning
really
of the
pass
year,
happy.
if you told me at the beginning of the year, Sean McVay guy, I wouldn't have said, I wouldn't have thought twice about it. But they're not off to the best start. They're banged up a little bit. Traded for Ramsey, but they just got rid of Talib. I wouldn't have thought this was Goff. There's a lot of guys out there throwing the ball a little better.
Yeah. But most of the good, most of your guys who are leading in the top 5 when it comes to passing yards throughout the year, they're hurt. Drew got hurt. Patrick Mahomes got hurt. Tom Brady never really puts up huge passing yard numbers.
Great point.
But I think that's why he's up there. And if you remember, they had a couple games where they lost in a row, either 2 or 3 games they lost in a row, and they got extremely pass happy. And they were throwing 300, 400, 500 yards passing. That's not really how you win games in this league. You can win them, but over time, it's hard to win games.
Well, that was the other surprise for me. Like you said, to become pass happy when you're down. Matt Ryan's number 4 on the list.
They're
Atlanta's struggling right now, but
they are having a tough one.
They're just trying to chuck and duck, as Buddy Ryan used to say. Leading the league in rushing touchdowns is Aaron Jones.
It's very surprising.
11 touchdowns. And he's been banged up, playing through some injuries. He's had 3+ touchdowns in 2 games now, which has helped him out a lot. McCaffrey's right behind him at 10. Eckler with 8 surprised me when I saw it. And then leading all receivers, Adam Thielen. Also a little bit of a surprise with some big names you have out there.
For sure.
Moving right along, who's the best team that you think is in the NFL right now? I know what you're going to say before you say it, but tell the people.
It's the New Orleans Saints, baby.
Of course.
I mean, look, these guys went 5-0 with a backup quarterback, and not just any backup quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater, who had some great success in his league. He had a step back, he got injured, and guess what? He got another chance, and he just excelled. He excelled. The 12th in total offense, the 11th ranked in passing, 15th in rushing, the 6th ranked defense, 2nd against the rush, only allowing 84 yards per game. Now that's championship defensive football in my eyes.
84 yards a game.
Yeah, and they haven't let up a 100-yard rusher in what, 34 straight games? Somewhere in that range. They have a bye this week, and then they come back and man, they got the Falcons twice. They got to play the Bucks again. They played them once. The
Falcons, Bucks, Panthers, and then the Falcons, and then their toughest game probably of the year, they're hosting the 49ers.
And they're going to have the Colts on Monday night. We're going to be in the building for that one, another Bush and Me show, where this man right here will be. You got another bet that you have to.
So I bet against you guys twice, New Orleans.
Lost.
The first one I paid off. I wore Jermon's jersey around Chicago. Got a little hate.
Caught some static.
Threw some hate my way, but
when we
the second one we're going to do in New Orleans. We're saving this one now. It's going to be in New Orleans, 3rd to last week of the season, so I think it's December 16th-ish, that weekend. We need you guys to tell us what I have to do. We're going to be in New Orleans for the whole weekend, so it can be any kind of event, any kind of punishment. Nothing permanent. I'm not getting a tattoo. I'm not shaving anything. But something that we can all agree.
If you lose one more this year, we're shaving an eyebrow.
I don't think we're going to bet against the Saints anymore.
But I like the schedule they have. They got to feel really, really good about the rest of their schedule. They already had all their tough games, and they didn't even need Drew Brees to get through them. So now Drew's coming back. He's motivated. He's healthy. So you got to feel good about where they are. Even if they lose 2 games, they'll be 13-3, and most likely will still have a first-round bye.
There you go.
Who you got, bro?
That's strong. I think I'm staying away from New England. I don't think they've played anybody yet. You went with the Saints, who have a strong resume. But I think I'm going to go with San Francisco. Now, every week I was saying San Francisco is solid, but it's going to catch up to them one day, and they keep proving me wrong. They're 6th in total offense and 2nd in defense. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Right.
They're first against the pass. They're only allowing, this is a passing league, as you know right now. 138 yards a game passing.
That's all they're allowing?
That's all they're allowing.
That's those are strong numbers.
If you have a fantasy quarterback and they're playing San Francisco, you're benching them. 138 yards a game.
But that's led because of 49ers front line, man.
49ers front line. You got Bosa on the pass rush. You got Sherman in the secondary. Fred Warner leads the team in tackles. I mean, I think they're just solid all around. You added Emmanuel Sanders to the mix, which frees up Kittle, which I mentioned before. Garoppolo's playing great. I think the Cardinals had a great scheme Thursday night. Some of those blitzes, though, Garoppolo just stepped up in the pocket and kind of flung it flat-footed and just put it where it needed to be. Wow. He's making plays, and I don't want to go with them, but I think by default I don't want to go with New England, the Niners. I mean, they've earned this spot.
Yeah,
they've earned it.
Absolutely.
Now, after this week, I'm gonna make a bold prediction here. I think after this week, New England drops out of the top 3.
Oh yeah.
And I think the Ravens move in. I think the Ravens are sitting about 5 or 6 right now, depending on the polls you look at. I think they're moving into the top 3. With that, we'll jump into the picks of the week.
Games of the week.
Game of the week is the Patriots-Ravens. The spread's 3. Vegas has it 3, down from 3.5. Can the Patriots defense stop Lamar Jackson and Mark Ingram? Before you start, Patriots have the first-ranked defense in the league right now. That's surprising because historically they're touted right there. Their offense usually has to make up for their defense. They're allowing 148 passing yards, so they're second in that category. They're allowing 85 rushing yards a game.
That's solid.
The Ravens are averaging, are you ready for this?
Yeah, give it to me.
204 yards on the ground. Number 1 ranked offense versus number 1 ranked defense. Jermon Bushrod, who do you have in this game?
Ooh, boy. I'm going to go.
Tick tock.
Who are you going with?
Started with me?
Let's start with you.
I'm going with the Ravens. I'm a homer here. Not only if I wasn't a homer, just historically. Ravens are coming off a bye. 2 weeks to prepare. I think the Patriots are ripe for the picking right now. They're ripe for the picking. They're 8-0. They haven't really played anybody yet. They haven't been challenged. They haven't been challenge tested.
They're going to be challenged in M&T Bengals.
It's a primetime game in Baltimore.
Oh, it is Sunday night.
If you've been there at a night game,
it's going to be rowdy.
They come out in full force.
It's going to be rowdy.
Baltimoreans have all day to drink and come out and support them. It's going to be loud.
Yeah.
It's going to be hectic. Since 2008, under John Harbaugh, the Ravens are 12-1 in primetime games at home. They've won 10 in a row. It's the longest active streak in the NFL. They're outscoring their opponents in those games 324 to 114. The plus turnover differential is 13. This is the perfect storm for the Ravens to take over Patriots. I'm going Ravens. I think they win the game.
There's a lot of stats there. I appreciate that. But, you know, one thing that the Patriots have done, they're not going to let the best person, if they're on defense, if the Patriots on defense, they're not going to let the best person on the opposing team get the best of them.
Right.
To me, that's Lamar Jackson. That's Lamar Jackson on foot. You understand? So the Patriots are going to come up with some kind of scheme to make sure that they keep Lamar Jackson in that pocket and make him throw the ball. Now, Lamar Jackson has shown that he can throw the ball, but he's going to have to be more accurate than he's been all year, because you got to understand who the Patriots are, what they're going to do, and how they have success over the years. They're not going to let the best receiver beat them. They're not going to let your running back beat them. And they understand that even though the Ravens are averaging 204 yards a game on the ground, they're not going to let Lamar Jackson just sit around and run around all day. Now, I think Lamar Jackson is going to have some success, but the Patriots are going to do a pretty good job of trying to contain him. I'm going to go Patriots for the sake of the show.
Ooh.
I think it's going to be a really, really good. It's going to be a good battle. But I'm going to go Patriots for the sake of the show, because I want to see how Lamar Jackson, if he can beat a Patriots defense, and I hope he does.
Belichick, historically, dating back to his New York Giants defensive coordinator days, has always had a scheme for something like this. You saw it in the Super Bowl against the Bills in 1990. So I see what you're saying there, but I just think this is the perfect storm.
Okay.
Ravens all the way. It would have been my upset pick if we weren't doing it as a game of the week.
Okay.
Jets and Dolphins. I was a little hesitant with this game. It's kind of a toilet bowl, no offense. Jets are 1-7, Dolphins are 0-8.
Wow. This game is unique, though.
Adam Gase has had this game circled in pen, permanent marker.
Numerous times.
Numerous times. Probably since he accepted the job in New York.
Absolutely.
You used to play for him. Tell us what this game means to him.
It's going to be an emotional return when he goes back to Miami Dolphins. He did get fired from there last year. He took over as the Jets head coach. He's going to have those guys fired up. He does not want to go into Miami, the place he was just at, where he had a coaching change from. He doesn't want to go in there and not get a W. That's just like any other player going back to play. You know, the team that they once played for. That game just means something to you. I think he's going to have his guys fired up. But I'm going with the Dolphins.
Ooh!
I think this is the week that the Dolphins get their first win. They're not going to let Adam Gase come in there and get this W. They understand how big this game is to him. To me, I'm going to Miami Dolphins because you want to know why? They've been kind of close the last couple weeks. They were very competitive versus the Bills. They just picked up Aqib Talib. Even though Xavier Howard did get hurt, he just picked up Ken Crawley from the New Orleans Saints after he was waived. I like the Dolphins this week. I'm going with the Dolphins over the Jets for their first victory.
Old team over old coach.
It is what it is.
I'm not doing this just to be against you, but I think the Jets. I think Gase is going to scheme against them. I just don't think the Dolphins have it yet. They're going back and forth. Fitzpatrick came in, gave him a little magic for a little bit there, but I just don't think they have it all together yet. I'm going with the Jets. The spread's 3 for Vegas. I think they cover that. They're going to go into Miami. They're going to win the game. They'll be 2-7. Sorry, Jamon. Sorry, Miami.
That's what it is. We're going to see.
Upset picks.
Yes.
These picks have been on fire. 8-2 since we started this segment. 80%. And 7 of those have won the game outright.
Right.
So if you're taking these picks to Vegas, you're sitting at home listening to these, counting your money right now.
Mm-hmm.
Jamon, who do you have this week?
I'm going with the Monday night matchup. It's in the Meadowlands.
It is.
I'm going Giants over the Cowboys.
Ooh.
Monday night.
Ooh.
It's a little bold. But I like it.
That's a 7-point spread. You're taking them to win the game.
And Dallas has the number 1 ranked offense this season. That's 437 per game.
Number 1 ranked offense.
I think the Giants got a little bit stronger on defense with the acquisition of Leonard Williams in the middle. Saquon's playing well. Quarterback, he's back a little bit healthier now.
Daniel Jones
is a little bit healthier now. He was passing the ball pretty well. I like the Giants in this game. It's going to be tough though. Cowboys they have their whole line. You know, those guys are playing strong this week, but I'm going for the upset, man. I'm going for the upset, the big upset. I think the big upset is the Giants over the Cowboys this week.
I like it. You're stepping out on a ledge. They do play Minnesota next week. Dallas does.
Okay.
Minnesota's 6-2. It's a Sunday night game at NBC. So
they're two prime times.
If you're looking for an overlook game, as they like to say in Vegas, this could be it. So I don't know about winning the game, but I like you stepping out on the ledge. I just hope you don't fall off. I'm going with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Minshew Mania. Is it coming to an end? Maybe. They're going to rally behind him. The game's in London. It's at 9:30 in the morning. So if you're taking it to the sports book, you got to do it early. I just think Deshaun Watson's still having some trouble with his left eye. Got banged up in the last game. I think they're going to rally around Minshew. The team's going to support him, play for him, because it could be his last one this season. And J.J. Watt just had season-ending pectoral muscle, so he's gone. I think the defense is going to be looking for a leader there. There's going to be some holes, and I think Minshew lights him up, knowing it might be his last game. Spread's 1.5, so it's not that big of a limb I'm stepping out on here like you are, but I like Jacksonville, and I like them big. Sunday morning early, before your breakfast time.
My breakfast time. I'll be up with the kids and all that good stuff. But no, this was
it was a lot of fun. We came back to Towson.
We brought it back. You know, we had the tailgate out here. Shout out to my family again, to the family and to my friends, friends who came out, and man, they took another Saturday off to be with us.
Drove the RV down, cooked the food. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Gary Neal thank you for taking time. He had basketball practice this morning and coaching Little League Soccer at 2 o'clock and snuck us right in the middle, so we appreciate you coming out for that.
For sure.
Hope you guys like the picks. Hope you guys like the show. Jamon, had a lot of fun.
Follow us
Bush and me, follow
at
us.
Bush and Me Show. We're on all platforms: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Give us a follow. We'll be here at least every other week for now. You know, we're just Bush and me. We're 3 guys in 3 states, and you know, three different situations going on, and we're trying to bring you this show. I hope you guys enjoy it. We're enjoying it.
We're bringing it all together. Definitely have a show, like we said, in New Orleans coming up in December, and we're also going to be at the Super Bowl. Let us know where else you'd like us to come. Comment, like it, tag it.
Tell a friend to tell another friend, and yeah, let's get our followers up and come kick it with us.
It was fun. Bush and Me Show. We'll see you guys next time. That was a wrap. You ate so much food.